Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Major Ian O'Sullivan from Arctic Support Command, and today I want to talk to you about RV safety. Specifically, we're going to talk about that age-old question, can I tow it? So we're going to go through three topics. First off, what are the legal considerations that you need to know when you consider towing your vehicle or towing your trailer? Number two, we're going to talk about your tow vehicle and the importance of the numbers on it. And then number three, we're going to talk about your trailer and the things that you need to consider when looking at a trailer to purchase. So stick around and we'll get right into it. So at the end of today's video, you should be able to look at your truck's numbers. You should be able to look at the trailer that you're considering, and then you should be able to do the math to determine whether or not you can tow it. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is the legal consideration. You know, most of us have been on the highway at some point in time, whether in Alaska or in the lower 48, and you've seen that F-150, that half-ton truck, driving down the road with a trailer that looks entirely too large for it, and it looks like, you know, the front end of the trailer is like dipping into the ground, and the front end of the truck is like lifting off the ground because clearly it has way too much weight on the tongue of the trailer. So that's what we're really trying to get after today is discussing that kind of stuff because, hey, towing like that is illegal. But don't take my word for it. I am not a lawyer. We're going to pass it over to your U.S. Army Alaska lawyer, Major Dave Dorochik, so he can talk about some of the legal considerations.
Oh, thanks, Ian. So real quick, we'll just talk generically about state laws as they apply to overweight vehicles. And operating an overweight vehicle is going to open you up to some liability to pay for damage to roads or bridges, things of that sort, where you're going to have to possibly pay back the municipality or the local government that originally funds those roadways. Additionally, could open you up to some civil suits as far as negligence. And so when I say negligence, what I'm talking about is doing what a similarly situated person would do in the same circumstances. So a reasonable person would say, I can only tow 3,500 pounds, so I'm going to tow 3,500 pounds or less. Along that same vein is also insurance, right? Your insurance companies know these laws. They know how much you can tow through certain states. They know how much certain vehicles can tow. And so again, if you violate those restrictions, it's possible that your insurance company will not cover your costs and you'll have to pay out of pocket for that damaged vehicle or that damaged roadway. I think that about answers your question, Ian. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. So the next topic that we're going to discuss is your tow vehicle, and then we'll get into your travel trailer, and we're gonna kind of walk you step by step through the process of determining whether that truck can tow that trailer. So let's go ahead and get into the spreadsheet. As you're looking at your vehicle, there are going to be a number of things that you need to figure out. The first part of that process is going to be going to your door sticker, which is inside of the driver's side door, usually on the frame of the truck. You're going to want to go look at all the numbers that are on that door sticker. So for this example, we're going to use an F-150 from a friend of mine. His GVWR, or gross vehicle weight rating, is 7,000 pounds. The next number that we're going to look at is the gross axle weight rating. So the gross axle weight rating on the front axle for this one is 3,450, and on the rear axle is 3,800. Third thing that you're going to want to look up on your sticker is the axle ratio code. So in this case, the axle ratio code is L9. We're going to look for the wheelbase, which is 145 inches. And then we're going to look at the other sticker, and we're going to find the payload number, which in this case is 1,800 pounds. From there, we're going to go to the towing guide. In order to find the towing guide for your vehicle, what you want to do is hop onto Google, and you just want to search for your year, your make, and your model towing guide. Each brand is going to do it a little bit differently, and once you download that towing guide, the first thing you're going to want to do is find your axle ratio. I'm going to search for the axle ratio of this vehicle, which was L9, and it's going to take me down to the truck axle ratio. you can see that an F-150 with an L9 code has a rear axle ratio of 3.55. So let's go ahead and write that down in our Excel document, 3.55. From there, we're going to go to the towing capacity. For this specific F-150, we know that it is a Super Crew 4x4 with a 145-inch wheelbase. We also know that it is a 5.0 liter 4-valve V8 with a 3.55 axle ratio. From that, we can just link those to the column and the row up, and we can see that the towing capacity for this truck is going to be 9,000 pounds. So we'll go ahead and write that down as well. Finally, we're going to look for the gross combination weight rating. Now, the GCWR for this truck is going to be found again on the tow guide. We're just going to look all the way over to the left-hand column where it says GCWR. We're going to link all that up. We know that we have a towing capacity of 9,000 pounds. We know that, therefore, we have a gross combination weight rating of 14,400 pounds. So we'll go ahead and write that down as well. In order to find the GVWR of the trailer that you're looking at, you can do it one of two ways. First off, you can walk up to the driver's side front of the trailer. It's generally going to be listed there in a sticker, or you can usually go onto the manufacturer's website. They're either going to have the GVWR listed, or they will have the unloaded weight of the vehicle and the cargo carrying capacity weight of the vehicle. If they don't have the GVWR, then all you have to do is take the unloaded weight, add in the cargo carrying capacity, and then those two numbers together will equal your GVWR. So for our example today, we're going to use a fairly typical larger bunkhouse model. And the gross vehicle weight rating for that trailer, and this is again fairly typical for this size trailer, is going to be 7,995 pounds. We enter that into our spreadsheet, and then we start to go through some of the horizontal towing weights. First thing we do is we come up here to this cell, and we're going to enter in our truck's GVWR, 7,000 pounds. From there, we're going to go to the payload. We're going to subtract out the payload. Then we're going to take a look at how many people you have in your family. So for my family, there's 3 of us. It's probably about 400 pounds in weight. And then we're going to add things. So my wife comes with 100 pounds of purse attachment. I like to carry a generator. We like to carry some fuel. We'll carry a grill with us. We'll carry some of that stuff. So all told, add in also, of course, the weight of the bed liner and the weight of the truck bed cover. We've probably got about 400 pounds of weight. Total for the gross vehicle weight of the truck is going to be 6,000 pounds. Come down here, and now we're going to determine the gross combined weight of the truck and the trailer. So the gross vehicle weight of this truck is going to be 6,000 pounds. The gross vehicle weight rating of the trailer, and again, we're going to use the gross vehicle weight rating because we don't own this trailer in theory yet. And so we don't know what the trailer weight is going to be with all of our stuff in it. So we just have to assume. And, I know that you're saying that you're not going to load up the trailer to its gross vehicle weight. You're probably going to load it up to the gross vehicle weight rating. That's what happens. So especially if you're in the middle of a move or you're out on a couple-week trip around Alaska. So for the gross vehicle weight rating, we're going to say that equals, again, 7,995 pounds. Add those two together. The gross combined weight, 13,995. So now that we have our horizontal weights established, the gross combined weight is what we're trying to get to, as well as the GVW for the truck. Now we're going to go down to horizontal towing. So we're going to look at the towing capacity of the truck. We found, again, in the towing guide that the towing capacity was 9,000 pounds, so equals 9,000. The trailer gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 7,995 pounds. And the way that I've got this spreadsheet set up is that this yes/no column over here tells us whether or not we can tow the vehicle. So if we can, it'll be green. If we can't, it'll be red. Basically, all you really need to understand is if you subtract the gross vehicle weight rating from the towing capacity and it's a positive number, that means you have some space left to spare. If you subtract it and it's a negative number, that means that you have busted your towing capacity. Same thing for the gross combination weight rating. So the GCWR for this trailer, 14,400. And then the gross combined weight, we're going to subtract out of that, which again was equal to 13,995. So for this trailer and for this truck combination, these specific vehicles, it looks like we're going to be able to tow it horizontally, right? We'll have about 1,000 pounds of towing capacity left, and we'll have about 400 pounds of gross combination weight left to tow. A lot of times when you go onto a place like Facebook and you ask the question, hey, can I tow that? Or you say, hey, who's towing this particular trailer with, whatever kind of truck? The answers you're going to get are things like, oh, hey, I tow this 10,000 pound trailer with an F-150. And, maybe, and they'll look at these numbers, and this is kind of where they're going to stop. They're going to say, hey, I'm in the green, I'm good, I can tow that.
As an attorney, I would advise against doing that.
That's not where we're going to stop. We're going to take a look at this point now at the vertical towing. So as we flip over to vertical towing, the numbers are exactly the same. I've just copied them over from the previous page. And now we're just going to go through the math on this. First thing we have to figure out is the expected hitch weight of the travel trailer. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to take the gross vehicle weight rating, which again equals 7,995 pounds. And we're going to multiply that by 10 to 15% of the GVWR, of the trailer GVWR. The reason we do this is that travel trailers typically transfer about 10 to 15% of their weight onto the hitch. Now, without getting in the trailer and loading it a specific way, right? Whether you load more stuff at the front of the trailer or more stuff at the back of the trailer, your specific load plan for that vehicle is going to determine how much weight is on the hitch at any given time. So just for safety's sake, we're going to multiply by the higher of those numbers, which is 15%. So 7,995 times 15% gives us almost 1,200 pounds. Then we're going to take a look at our available payload. The payload for this trailer, again, we said was 1,800 pounds. And we're going to subtract out whatever stuff we put in the trailer. So again, we said that we were going to have about 800 pounds worth of people and things and purse attachments. So 800 pounds there. Our available payload then is 1,000 pounds. We're now going to subtract the hitch weight. 1,000 pounds minus almost 1,200 pounds means that we're about 200 pounds over our payload. So what that means is you cannot tow this trailer. Now, are there ways to make it so that you could tow this trailer? Yeah, maybe. Maybe you don't put anything in the bed of the truck. Maybe you have your spouse, and in my case, my wife and my son, travel in our other vehicle. But you have to be very careful, and at that point, you're very much on the borderline, and the only way to really know whether or not you can tow the vehicle is to take it, hitch it up, and bring it to a scale so that you can actually weigh all of the axles on the vehicle, both empty and then full. Only when you actually weigh it are you going to be able to figure out if you are within the limits or if you're over the limits. For the sake of understanding whether or not you can tow the vehicle, you're going to want to go ahead and do all this math, and if it's close, I would suggest to you that you probably shouldn't tow it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
All right, so we've talked about the legal considerations of why you should care about this. We've talked about how to find the numbers for your truck, how to find the numbers for your trailer, and then we've talked about how to do the math to determine both your horizontal and your vertical towing capacities. You should now know how to do that math. You should know how to determine if you're able to tow something safely. And at the end of the day, guys, the intent of doing this video and the intent of caring about this issue is really one of safety. What I don't want you to have to do is to drive along overweight, not realizing that you're overweight, and then get in an accident and either potentially hurt someone in your own family, kill someone else on the road, or even if nobody gets hurt, if you do damage to a roadway or damage to a structure, chances are you're going to have to pay it and your insurance isn't going to cover it. So this is all about just making sure that you're doing things safely and that you are really taking care of yourself and you're taking care of your family. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you next time.